morning, guys. Welcome to the Monday morning session. We'll quickly go through the process that we do every day. We had a very good, huge opening, which is the news that we had in the morning about war ending, agreement being signed, and the state of Hormuz being open. So now, if you recall in my earlier videos, I did say that there was a chances that we may witness 24,000 to 24,100, but I quite frankly wasn't aware that it will be done in a day. Having said that, the path was clear that we are going there. But right now, what we have to see today, because we have had a gap up, so we'll just try to read the data as around this particular point in time to see if this rally is there to sustain or it will just fizzle out. Early in the morning, if you recall, I had posted even on Twitter and on the Telegram that there is currently writers at 24,000 sitting, and they are not reducing as I had expected or as we can expect for it to rally further. But that was early in the morning. Right now, because the day has started to now mature in, so we will see right now where we are at. So PCR is comparatively down than what we had last week because there's a good call lighting that is there right now, still there. It has not completely gone away. Although if you come down and see, there would be some kind of a put writing visible around 24,000 and 24,050 is a good starting sign that we might sustain 24,000. But again, we have to see this over the day. We'll check the OI profile to see if the call lighting, there's any kind of a reduction happening, or is it just an some people or maybe a weak hands trying to write put on the assumption that we will continue the rally. So we have to see both the mix, not just assume that because of the put writing we might solely rally, because we know that there's a good heavy concentration of call writing at 24,000. So knowing this, we will simply not judge it right now by the put writing. We will see as our day in OI profile and as the day progresses. So coming down, highest sector, as you know, has been textile so far, trend being the biggest of them all. Finance and finance stocks are rallying. Auto stocks is mixed. Some stocks are rallying and Bajaj Auto is not. So Bajaj Auto we saw yesterday, it was appearing in the positional radar as the short buildup, and today it started with a gap up, but it has not sustained so far. It has a good floor put writing of 10,000, which is what the support is for the day. But if it tries to break the support and go below it, then we might see a breakdown and maybe a fall of 100, 200 points more. But that is for the later to judge. But overall, if you see, even from the top, it has fallen and there's a good open interest built up. So there is still a short buildup that is visible in Bajaj Auto, which means there is a confirmation to the existing shorts that rally hasn't helped this particular stock in action. Although the auto sector is overall rising, but given the texture of the market, I'll be very careful to just not blindly short it. I'll wait for 10,000 to break and sustain, and then maybe see a call writing happening in 10,000 CE. Then I'll be a bit sure that yes, this fall is going to continue. And if uh, as the day progresses and we see the correction in Nifty, then this will be the stock to this might speed up on the downside. But that is just for kind of understanding right now we have with the visible data. We'll see as the day progresses, and you can see the Y keeps on rising, and the price is right now nearing 10,000. So again, we'll keep a watch on this, but we know for sure that there's a short buildup which was there and it is now getting added. Now, if you remember, there's a Chola Finance stock which had a good Chola Finance and Indigo both had a good volume breakout last week. It was, seen in the positional data also. We had added this particular section of a stock where there's a good volume breakout. So now it continues. We are seeing a good rally in it. I had a position in Indigo, which I had closed in the morning because I saw good put writing happening on the Friday, which I think I had pointed out also in my video. Coming down, currently what we have is Aisha Motor. If you recall, I had said this stock has some kind of a exceptional build-up happening at 70, 50 or 40 somewhere. So far, all the things has led up to the good rally of nearly 7%. And this still continues. So far, we are again seeing a long build-up happening. So if you had this long, you can think of taking a profit. If you're not, then you should wait at sideline right now to see if there's any entry point in this. stocks that have a most active open interest, top being the Bajaj Auto because it is right now 4 plus. Nestle India at 2.6% open interest. SBI and banks are basically performing. Hindalco is still in the range. If you recall the Sunday video, the range is still not broken. So I would not necessarily take a hasty decision if someone has taken long straddle or whatever, they should learn to manage how this position if they are stuck in the range. I have explained detailed in the video also on the Friday's video and also on Sunday's webinar. So we'll now shift our focus to see if there's anything that we can find in intraday. So one thing that I've added in intraday is this particular section called Watch Today. Because what I wanted to see, if I see some stock where there's a built up which is seen today, let's say now Bajaj Auto has fortunately come up to this particular point. But so if I want to see if any of the stock which comes over here, is it part of the earlier position radar? If it is, then I will be having a one additional confirmation, which we have right now in Bajaj Auto. Bajaj Auto on Friday, there was some issue with the positional data. I changed it, and Bajaj Auto and Axis Bank came into the ignition stock. So this ignition stock, where there was a short build-up and a good consistency of 73% overall, now is today part of your intraday, which means what? There is an additional confirmation. Volumes are rising, open interest is rising. Okay, so now which means what? That there is now it is showing a CE cap also. Okay, so which means what? There's a good short buildup and the continuation. And right now we are sitting at the persistence of 73%, which is good. So over the day, if it rises to 90%, 95% with further fall below 10,000, that is then the stock for me to watch out for in the shorter side. But having said that, I would be very careful just because the market overall is bullish. Okay. Now, one thing that we missed to see in our pulse is the what is the composition of the advanced decline today. Okay, because expected the day is a bullish, but still there are some stocks which are still bearish. Given the composition simply by the numbers, it is completely in the bull zone. Those eight stock would be either, they are either pharma stocks or maybe some metal stocks, etc. So overall, the composition is bullish, and we have a healthy market breadth, which means we have to be very much careful before we simply short it, unless if it is as sure as what we saw right now, Bajaj Auto. But still, we will keep an eye on this very, very closely. Now, moving on to CPR scanner. CPR scanner, if you note, overall we have 24 stocks which are under narrow, but I would not simply trade because they are into narrow CPR. I would want to see if there's any kind of a confluence, which means the open interest, anything kind of a option activity happening over there. So currently, Infosys is showing a long buildup. So, but there's a call buying happening of 1160. I would have been happy to see a put writing happening of a nearby, let's say 1140 or 1160, etc. To be more assuring that this is kind of a stock for me to watch out in a day. Okay. And Aisha Motor, as you know, it has come in the even our main page scanner also. It has a long build-up of nearly ATM call buying happening. Okay, so this is for the narrow stocks. Now, if I remove this particular filter and I simply see if I want to see a put writing happening overall, so I can see in the Nifty, there's a put writing happening which is around 24,000, which we saw on the page also. Uh, Maruti has a ATM put writing, which is a good sign because then you know that at least this particular position is being, used by the put writers to secure it. Maybe we see a further rally in this. Bank of Baroda has a surprisingly above ATM put writing. Now this becomes very interesting for me because why would someone write a put which is at least 2-3 rupees above the price, which means there is some kind of a bullishness in the banking stocks, PSU stock, and which we might see coming through this particular stock. Okay. Then we have a Chola Finance, which is a carry forward from the last Friday. It still has a put writing, which is above the ATM. These two stocks are good right now for me to be aware that I can look into it to trade, but because they have a normal wide CPR, that doesn't mean that it will not rally. It just means I would be careful. I personal preference is not to trade anything wide or normal, but exception that I can look into is basis the setup of the put writing. So these are two exceptions for me right now. So over the day, I'll keep a watch on this particular thing. Wall migration, I'll explain later, maybe some other day. What I also want to explain on positional radar, what we have added overall. Apart, see, in intraday, I had just tried to connect it with the positional just to make sure if there's any ignition stock in the play and it comes into intraday, my chances are obviously better than what they were earlier. I don't have to guess whether this is a one-time build-up or there is some already positionally some build-up happening. So I did help me. We saw it live. Intraday is working better now. We can see it, Bajaj Auto coming into intraday, and there is some activity in the positional radar. So I have a dual confirmation. There is nothing additional. It's just a connection of two particular points. Similarly, what I've done in positional radar, I have tried to first of all add any stock where there's the volume breakout of 10 or 20 days. So this is a button which you would see on your positional radar. If you click on this, you will see a stock. This will basically be seen by the end of a day typically, and whenever they cross. So these typical stocks are of the Friday, as you saw. These 3 to 4 stocks are having a good rally overall because they had a good volume coverage. This is one addition to the position data because uh, I personally like to trade anything where there's a volume breakout of at least 5, 10, or 20 days because that becomes a stock for me to watch out because there's an interest not just by the option data but also volume. So it's a double confirmation for me. So this is added. Now if you come down, you would see a ignition stock right now, this thing on your this thing. Now under this, what I have added is open buildup, open interest buildup. So what you can then see when you click on this is a day by day open interest building up. Now you see on Friday we saw the short buildup happening of 5%. Now currently we have started to build up open interest. Currently we are sitting at 2 to 4%, which we saw on the page also. It will keep on updating over the time. And then what we have also added is a WB score. WB is basically what writer and buyer score. This will be shown to you by end of a day. However, you see we have added the ranking. So anything which comes as 70, between 70 to 100, over there you would not see, maybe not necessarily see a one side activity of buying, but kind of a mix. So you can take a decision accordingly. If there's anything where the score is less than 45, so it's a buyer dominated basically. On Friday, on Sunday closing, we had I think nearly 15 score allotted to this, which means there was a surety that any opening on the Monday, if it is shorted, there would be activity of buying instead of writing. So we saw it at nearly we had 200 points of fall. So this is just to give you an insight of whether the overall composition of option is tilted towards writing or the buying. So this is an additional tool for you. So this is it right now. We'll keep a watch on overall what Nifty does. Are we able to cross 24,000 and sustain and head over to 24,100, or we come back and maybe we test a support of 23,900? Currently, we are sitting below it. Before we log off, we'll just try to see what is open profile stating. So open profile, I think in the morning when I saw it was giving me support of 23,800. Now it has shifted to 24,400. So this is very interesting now, which means what the writers have tried to capture this particular point. So right now you can see this call writers have not added much. Last I saw in the morning, it had a same open interest addition of 1.1 CR and making total of 2 CR. But over here we had a very limited put writing, hardly in 30-40 lakhs of range. But now at this point when I'm making the video, all three thing 23,900, 950, and all have an addition of more than 1.86 CR, which means now writers are getting into at stating that this is going to cross like very easily and also above the 24,000. Although there's an addition, but it is not in huge numbers now, unless if this addition, if we see any reduction over here or any reduction over here, then you will see a rally which will continue for 100 or maybe 200 point further. But for now, good put buildup is happening. Walls have shifted. Uh, Call wall is still at 24,000. During the day, I want this to be reduced, to see it reducing for me to be sure that this particular level will cross and sustain. So over the day, we'll keep a check on this. And that's all. That's for the day. Thank you.